Growing up in Nigeria, emphasize always education. So you develop the desire to be competitive, to win.
From the buzzing streets of Lagos, Nigeria, to becoming one of the most unstoppable forces the NBA has ever seen, Hakeem Olajuwon's story isn't just legendary, it's cinematic. Born in 1963 with no basketball experience until age 15, he rose from a teenage goalkeeper to the #1 pick in the 1984 NBA draft, chosen ahead of icons like Michael Jordan. His footwork was so mind-bending that NBA referees later admitted they sometimes called travels simply because they couldn't believe moves that smooth were legal. 2 championships, multiple finals MVPs, a league MVP, the all-time leader in block shots. A global icon whose rise from Lagos to superstardom remains one of the most extraordinary journeys in basketball. This is the story of the man they call the Dream, a legend built from discipline, faith, and impossible footwork. Stay with me as I give you more insights on this NBA legend. He was born on January 21, 1963 in Lagos, Nigeria, the third of 8 children in a bustling Yoruba household shaped by discipline and hard work. His parents, Salim and Abike Olajuwon, ran a small cement business, and alongside his siblings, Yemi Kaka, Afis, Tajuddin, Akinola, and his sister Kudirat, Hakeem absorbed the values that would anchor his life: respect, humility, and relentless effort. Long before basketball ever crossed his path, Lagos's dusty soccer fields were his training ground. As a goalkeeper, his long limbs moved across the goal like a sweeping gate, teaching him balance, reflexes, and footwork, skills that quietly laid the foundation for the greatness ahead. Basketball didn't appear in his life until he was 15, when a coach at Muslim Teachers College noticed his height and urged him to try a sport he barely understood. His early attempts were clumsy, the ball slipping from his hands, yet something within him sparked. With stubborn determination, he stayed after practice, repeating movements until they stuck. His rise was rapid. Within just 2 years, Hakeem earned a spot on Nigeria's national basketball team, helping secure a third-place finish in the All-African tournament, a dramatic leap from a teen who had only just discovered the sport. By 1980, his talent was impossible to ignore. American scouts took notice, and Hakeem boarded a plane to the University of Houston, carrying nothing but potential and determination. Under Coach Guy Lewis, he refined his raw athleticism, transforming into a swift, graceful force whose footwork echoed the goalkeeper he once was in Lagos. Hakeem Olajuwon entered the NBA in 1984, carrying a quiet fire, the kind that simmers before becoming a storm. Drafted first overall by the Houston Rockets, ahead of future legends like Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley, he stepped onto the court with the calm certainty of a man born for the moment, and his presence immediately felt larger than the game itself. From the start to the Controversies, his impact hit the league like a sudden thunderclap. His rookie performance earned him a spot on the NBA All-Rookie First Team, and alongside Ralph Sampson, he formed the towering duo known as the Twin Towers, a partnership that turned Houston into a fortress almost overnight. Every block landed with the precision of a hammer strike, every rebound felt like plucking the ball from the sky, and his all-star appearances began to stack, eventually reaching 12, a testament to just how quickly he rose. As the seasons unfolded, Olajuwon's game transformed into something nearly mythical. Between 1987 and 1993, he became the immovable anchor of a team searching for glory, twice leading the league in rebounds and 3 times in blocks, proof of a defensive force as relentless as a tide. Each year brought more All-NBA and All-Defensive honors as he crafted himself into the most complete center of his era. Then came the move that bent defenders into knots. The Dream Shake, a sequence so smooth and deceptive it seemed to make time wobble, leaving opponents spinning like tops abandoned mid-whirl. His greatness reached its peak in the 1993-94 season, a campaign destined for legend. Olajuwon became the only player ever to claim NBA MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP in a single season. He led the Rockets to their first NBA championship, outdueling Patrick Ewing and the Knicks in a dramatic 7-game battle that ignited the entire city. And he wasn't finished. The following year, in 1995, Olajuwon carried Houston back to the mountaintop, sweeping the Orlando Magic to secure back-to-back championships and another Finals MVP. His footwork was silk, his timing razor-sharp, and by then his achievements read like a king's registry. Multiple All-NBA First-Team honors, multiple All-Defensive First-Team selections, rebounding crowns, block titles, and a fan base that embraced him as both superstar and savior. Even as the years pressed forward, Olajuwon continued producing brilliance. He crossed 26,000 career points, 13,000 rebounds, and an astonishing 3,000 blocks, numbers so rare they placed him among history's elite. He remained the heartbeat of the Rockets until the end. His iconic number, 34 destined for the rafters where legends live. In 2001, he embraced one final challenge with the Toronto Raptors, a brief but dignified closing chapter to a career defined by grace, power, and discipline. And though he stepped off the court, his legacy refused to fade. In 2008, he earned his place in the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, followed by induction into the FIBA Hall of Fame in 2016, a fitting tribute to a player who reshaped the very idea of what a center could be. Today, Hakeem Olajuwon stands not just as one of the greatest to ever play, but as an artist of footwork, a master of defense, and a dream who lifted the game to heights few imagined. But behind the legend was a man whose personal life revealed an entirely different kind of strength. Hakeem Olajuwon's personal life was shaped by the same forces that steadied him on the court: faith, tradition, and a deep sense of privacy. In 1996, he entered an arranged marriage with Dalia Asafi, a choice he embraced wholeheartedly as a devout Muslim. At just 18, Nigerian-born Dalia shared his cultural and spiritual foundation, making their union feel less like formality and more like two paths joining naturally, the way branches intertwine under the same wind. Unlike many partners of global sports icons, Dalia chose a life far from the spotlight, quiet, steady, and anchored in faith. After Hakeem's retirement, the two even lived in Jordan, where he deepened his Islamic studies, before returning to Houston to continue their life in the calm they valued. Together, they built a family rooted in stability and spirituality, raising 3 children, Rahma, Aisha, and Abdullah, in a home that felt as grounded as Hakeem's presence in the paint. He is also father to Abisola, his eldest daughter from a previous relationship, who carried his legacy onto the court by playing college basketball and later competing in the WNBA. Echoing her father's drive like a reflection in motion, his legacy was already secure, but Olajuwon wasn't finished. Off the court, he began crafting wealth with the same elegance he once used to dismantle defenders. When Hakeem Olajuwon left the NBA, most believed his story had already peaked. Fans had witnessed the trophies, the footwork, the dream shake, a legacy carved into basketball history. But what they didn't see coming was his second act, unfolding quietly far from the roar of arenas, yet just as extraordinary. Over 18 seasons, he earned about $110 million in salary, rising from early deals under $1 million to a towering $16.7 million in the 2001 season. That wealth became the foundation for something far larger, like the first stone laid for a future palace. But Hakeem didn't drown his earnings in luxury. Instead, he moved off the court with the same calm precision that defined him on it. Like a strategist watching the whole court, he turned to real estate not as a pastime, but as the blueprint for an empire. He followed strict rules: no loans, no debt, no interest, a path guided by his Islamic faith. Every property was bought in cash, with the discipline of a monk and the foresight of an architect sketching a city skyline. The results bloomed quickly. By 2006, just 4 years into retirement, the 25 properties he'd been collecting quietly had already exceeded $100 million in value, and that was only the beginning. Deal by deal, he shaped wealth with the care of a craftsman carving stone. He bought into Houston's World Trade Center complex in 1998 and sold it in 2000 for $8 million, a clean, calculated victory. He acquired the Houston Federal Reserve building for $4.3 million, leased it back to the government, then later sold it, proof that even federal institutions ended up paying rent to the dream. He added parking garages, commercial properties, apartments, and even converted a downtown landmark into an Islamic center. In 2006, he purchased 41 acres near NASA and transformed it into retirement housing, turning empty land into lasting value. By the mid-2000s, his real estate empire had grown into an estimated $300 million, making him one of the richest former NBA players alive, most of it earned after his playing days, dollar by dollar, through discipline and insight rather than risk. And his ambition didn't stop there. He expanded into business with DR34M, launched in 2010, a brand echoing his on-court identity through apparel, training, and entrepreneurial projects. On top of that, he became a sought-after mentor for elite big men. Players traveled across states just to learn from him, hoping to absorb even a fraction of the footwork that once left defenders dizzy. His training sessions became a premium craft of their own. Endorsements added another thread to his portfolio, not flashy, but steady, fitting a man who built wealth the way he played, with poise and intention. Today, Hakeem Olajuwon's fortune stands firm at $300 million. rising as tall as his basketball legacy, built not through reckless leaps, but through discipline, patience, and unwavering principle. But to understand the man he became, you must walk through the doors of the homes he built. His real estate journey led him first to Houston's River Oaks, where his crown jewel stands, a $23.5 million mansion that feels carved from success itself. Inside, marble floors shine like still water, a wine cellar hides beneath the earth like a secret chamber, and a TrackMan golf simulator, Planters, hums softly in its private corner, all symbols of a man who built wealth with the same precision he used to dismantle defenses. Outside, a shimmering pool bends alongside a manicured putting green, completing a landscape designed not for spectacle, but for quiet mastery. Yet River Oaks is only one piece of his empire. Across Houston, another estate, worth about $15 million, unfolds like a private retreat sculpted from serenity. A plush home theater murmurs luxury, the wine cellar safeguards years of gatherings, and a spa-caliber suite offers the kind of rest earned only through a lifetime of discipline. Plans for a tennis court and guest house stretch across the grounds, proof that even in stillness, Olajuwon remains a builder at heart. Farther from the city's pulse lies his quiet sanctuary in Sugar Land, Texas, a lakeside estate priced around $5 million, spanning over 8,000 square feet and set on 2.86 acres. It feels like a chapter written in softer ink, peaceful, reflective, and grounded. With 4 bedrooms, 6.5 baths, a sweeping outdoor pool, and serene lake views, it becomes a haven where days slow down, values deepen, and a man can watch his children play or simply breathe. Each mansion carries its own mood, yet all share a quiet confidence. None scream for attention, none exist for vanity. Instead, they mirror the man who built them, calm, intentional, deeply rooted. They trace his journey from Lagos to Houston, from rising star to global icon, from athlete to architect of wealth. Next chapter, horsepower with Hakeem's Hush. Hakeem Olajuwon Hushkin. Nimad carried his on-court poise onto the road, and it showed in his cars. Quietly elegant choices, precise and deliberate, like a set of practiced post moves. His first signature ride, the 1980 Mercedes-Benz W126280SE, fit him like a tailored suit. Its 2.8-liter inline-six, mine's approximately 185 horsepower, moved with the calm control of his footwork, originally costing about $25,000 and now typically valued $15,000 to $35,000. A set of chrome spoke wheels gave it just enough gleam, like a ring catching light without flaunting it. As his star rose, so did the polish of his garage, a mid-2000s Mercedes-Benz S-Class, the six-figure benchmark for quiet luxury, often seen at his DR34M functions, proof he favored timeless refinement over flash. The centerpiece, though, was the 2018 Mercedes-AMG G63, a white G-Wagon whose 577 horsepower twin-turbo V8 sprints 0 to 60 miles per hour in approximately 4.5 seconds, priced from approximately $180,000 and easily $250,000 plus with options. It's a luxury tank that moves like a ballerina, strength with surprising grace, perfectly matching Hakeem's presence beside it. Through every chapter, his cars mirrored his values. No noise, no trend chasing, just excellence, discipline, and restrained power. Like the Dream Shake, the choices were smooth, intentional, unforgettable. Hakeem's signature indulgence is building luxury experiences, not just buying them. He took a $6 million historic estate in Clear Lake and remade it into the DR34M mansion, a couture boutique where shopping can include helicopter arrival and private by appointment showings. Inside, he sketches pieces himself and insists on top-grade Italian leather. He said the true value of his DR34M Shake sneakers sits around $500, Gucci/Louis Vuitton territory, fashion built to play and to last. The brand itself, DR34M, has been his post-NBA canvas since 2010, blending luxe leather goods and limited releases with the same precision that made him the dream. Despite his calm reputation, Hakeem Olajuwon has had moments where admiration collided with controversy. In 2025, a video went viral showing security blocking him from joining Houston's on-court celebration after their Final Four win, a surreal sight as the school's greatest legend stood rejected at the sideline, sparking outrage and debate online. The tension grew to when former Rocket Vernon Maxwell joked that Hakeem should stop being Muslim for a second, referencing his non-violent faith and igniting another wave of backlash. Years earlier, in 2005, Olajuwon faced serious allegations after donating over $80,000 to charities later tied to extremist groups. Investigators eventually cleared him. He had been misled and believed he was helping families in need, but the episode briefly cast a shadow over his name. Even on the court, referees once questioned his moves, later admitting they wrongly called travel because his footwork looked too good to be legal. And there you have it, The luxury life of Hakeem Olajuwon, a life sculpted with the same calm precision he once used in the paint, where every home, every ride, every quiet indulgence reflects a man who chose quality over noise and legacy over excess. His world isn't flashy, it's refined. It's the kind of luxury that whispers instead of shouts, but still turns every head in the room. From multi-million-dollar estates to handcrafted Italian leather elegance, from discreet opulence to a lifestyle built on discipline and faith, Hakeem didn't just live well, he mastered the art of living. If exploring the dream's world inspired you, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Drop a fact in the comments if you want a deep dive into another legend's life of luxury. Until then, keep dreaming, keep rising, and keep chasing greatness.